Hello and welcome. So today's video is going to be on Nyx. I have been using Nyx for a while and been a pretty big fan of Nyx, honestly. Jesus Christ. Hello and welcome. So today's video is going to be on Nyx. Nyx is, in a word, just simply unfair. She had her retouch changes, and since those changes to basically her whole kit, I think they called it a retouch, but it felt more like a rework, to be honest. She has just gotten so much better. More people have been using her, and I think figuring out how kind of like the brand, if you will, of just unfair that this Warframe is, and I've been really enjoying it. Whenever people use frames that I like or enjoy, and they realize, oh, this frame's actually good, it brings a smile to my heart. So I'm just going to get into the build here just really quick. The Archon shards, these are entirely to taste. None of these are mandatory for the build. I'm just running some parkour velocity for the 4 for the augment. Spoilers, I'm running the augment for the 4. Duration, this just helps with the build basically overall in general. Duration with efficiency lowers the energy cost for channeled abilities, which is what her 4 is. And then to round out the shards, I have the equilibrium shard here just to round out the energy. I don't really have energy problems, honestly, but I figured the violet tau forward shard just rounds everything out, so the doesn't usually have energy problems just turns into never has energy problems. So that's the reason for that. Again, these can be whatever you want them to be. This is just what I have. This is what works for me in the builds that I'm going to show off here. So, for starters, I am using Wrathful Advance, ergo why it's kind of called Chaos Advance. But I'm not the biggest fan of her 1 and the augment and whatnot, turning enemies into puppets. Don't get me wrong, like, it's fun, it's cool, but I just really enjoy using Wrathful Advance, especially with the 4 being in the augment. You can use it to dart around and just flash step and whatnot across the tile set. I think it's a lot of fun. I also think it pairs really well with her new passive for when you use her 3 and chaos a bunch of enemies. You get 200% crit chance on your primaries and secondaries. Well, with Wrathful Advance and then with the Bolt Augmented that I have here, when this is fully stacked up, this is roughly 200% melee crit chance. So in total, you're getting 200% melee crit chance on basically all of your weapons. And yeah, that's pretty good. This build has been basically the general just fuck anything up build that I have been using for a little while, and this has served me very, very well. So hopefully it'll serve you well too. But to go over some of the choices here, I'm going with a lot of range. I don't think I've seen a lot of people do this, but for me this has worked very well because of the 3 and then maintaining the passive. So the big thing for me is using just chaos to just get as many enemies as I can, and then when you're in a mission, you're going to advance in the tile set. As you advance through the tile set, enemies move, you move, so they get out of this affinity range. Now, granted, of course, you want to cast chaos as much as you can, but chaos having as much range as you can feasibly have means that you get to maintain the passive for as long as you can. So the longer that this is up, the more damage that you deal, because the more crit chance that you have. That's the whole purpose of me having range, is to just have chaos just affect and gaslight every enemy in the vicinity that I can to just shoot each other. You know, hey, Steve, Glenn said your wife is cheating on you. What? And then he shoots him. So, yeah, that's the whole methodology behind that. Psychic Bolts is really good just for stripping all enemy defenses. Really, really good. Use this on the Sisters of Parvos and on the Kuva Liches just to shred all of their defenses. Pretty strong. And I think now it actually gives you what you strip out of them, which is even cooler. And the All-Star here, Absorb, with the Augment. You are essentially just a walking Terminator. Well, with this, you're a walking flash-stepping Terminator, but yeah. And I've really enjoyed just doing that, just being menacing, and, well, now we're a little more mobile, but it's still just a lot of fun just to hit a button and then not care. So that's a brief little description of the abilities and why I chose Wrathful Advance to go with everything. Going over the mods here, more power strength with growing power to help with Wrathful Advance and getting us as close to that 200%. As I mentioned earlier, cutting drifters for range. If your subsume is Roar or Zada's Whisper, spoilers, this can be power strength or drifting power or whatnot to go ahead, or power drift. I don't know mods to give you more power strength if it facilitates what your subsume is or whatnot. It could also work for Nourish as well. You know, just anything that really likes power strength. I already talked about Assimilate, amazing augment, mandatory include as far as I'm concerned. Transient Fortitude and Umbral Intensify to help with power strength to fight against the overextended that we have that's taking away 60. Stretch, again, just more ability range. Prime Flow to hold all of the energy, and then Prime Continuity to round us off here with just really good amount of duration. The Streamline here, this is the flex slot. This can be whatever you want it to be. If you want more duration, go for it. If you want more range, go for it. If you want more power strength, go for it. This can be whatever you want it to be. This is not needed for the build to work at all. And for the last little arcane here, Arcane Concentration. As I mentioned earlier, she likes duration because duration and efficiency both affect channeled abilities. So her having duration is good. And I believe this also duration also affects chaos, and the longer they stay in the confused state, that also helps as well with the passive. So all of this just works out to be really, really good. Then, as I kind of hinted at just about a minute ago, if you're not really wanting or focusing on like having all of your abilities being good, or like let's say you're in like the circuit or whatnot and you just have like a really good gun, then you would just go with like Zada's Whisper, and this can also be Roar or Nourish or whatever you want it to be. But it's a fairly similar build, but look at that, I took my own advice. So instead of running the Cutting Drift here, I'm running Power Drift. This is of course because, well, more power strength makes Zada's Whisper better. So yeah, nothing else here has really changed at all. If you don't want the extra duration from Arcane Concentration, this can change into something else too, but it's worked pretty well for me. So there's all of that. That's pretty much the build. So let's go ahead and let me talk about the companion. Just using the good old Panzer Phyla. I've showed this build off before, just showcasing it for newer viewers who maybe haven't seen that, showing off the mods so they can take a peek here. This is the claws. I've talked about this before in other videos. Nothing crazy. And I'm going to be using the Nadaruk. I haven't used the Nadaruk in a little while, but I'm a pretty big fan of this weapon. I really like the Nadaruk. I am using the Longbow Sharpshot. This does add a pretty decent amount of damage because I believe this is a separate like multipliers worth of damage. I think that's how the longbow is coded. So if you don't have this, you may not do quite as much damage as me, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. You can just use Merciless or you can use Deadhead. Anything like that'll be fine. You don't have to have the Snarp Shot here. So, yep. And then if you also don't, I've got Fire Rate here just to help for me personally with the timing for doing the perfect charge shot. If adding Fire Rate messes with your timing to get that perfect charge shot, you can remove this for something else. But this is generally what I run. I haven't really had a need to run base damage because of all the priming and whatnot. Just having the galvanized aptitude here, hitting all the enemies with all their status effects, this has been more than enough damage, especially, well, with the Arcane. But yeah, that's about the build. I've gone over these in the past as well, so I'm just going to gloss over those. And yeah, we're going to just hop into a quick little survival. This is going to basically be extremely trivial. This is going to be basically a repeat of Kalervo's video where I just kind of don't worry and just talk about whatever for about 5 minutes.
The art of combat must be practiced to truly master the canvas of war.
Yay, broken cell, I'll take that. Alright, here they come.
Life support has been cut off. They're trying to choke you.
Alright.
Hold on. I'm sending out.
Use absorb, look at this. And then because of the parkour velocity, I can actually move around a decent little bit. Chaos everything, and then this is me with whoop, just using a rifle advance to get around. So because of all of the, they all dead. Oh, well, that happened. I can't aim. There we go. Now I can aim. There we go. See, because of all of the enemies that are in chaos, I just get this to be maintained, and then as I continue to move forward, I still have it. Because you can see the 200 hasn't gone down. Because I have so many things chaos. It doesn't effectively matter a whole lot. Whoop. Little bit of a cheeky mercy kill there. There we go. And see, I never really worry about the energy because of us just killing things and companions being companions the way that they are now.
I've delivered a life support
You end up just getting a bunch of energy in just like not too long. Boy, for anyone listening to this, highly doubt that. I think most people just look at the build and then Vominos, and that's fine. I'm not criticizing anyone. But the dev stream was today, and I caught like little peeks of it. What is her name? It starts with an F and I forget it, but the new ink-based frame that they were showcasing looked really, really cool. It looked like she can just make and create like life support, and you can also change what it is to, which, given what we are as a community, I'm sure we're going to treat that with the utmost respect. Said absolutely no one ever. But yeah, she looks like a lot of fun. So I can't wait for her to come out. I think I saw that the update is going to be on the 25th, so that's going to be cool. Alright, I'm going to switch to melee here and just do this to showcase that, yeah, you can do both. Not that I think anyone's doubting that, but yeah. Also, don't forget to get your Gifts of the Lotus because of the live stream.
I've delivered another life support capsule.
Ink. And chaos. See, having Wrathful Advance is really nice because I can just get around or avoid certain things that would just be really annoying. Or just go straight to the heart of the problem. And yeah, this is Nyx. She just does not care. All right, back to this. I really like the Nataruk. Oops. Well, mistimed that one. All right. There's that. Actually, let me do this, then this. Then this. There we go. Could be missing that to help even more with the energy. Oh, violence, goody. Alright, so I did 1,000,000 damage to you, really? Get off me. Get off me. Yeah, you're done. Alright, well, that was Violence dead, so he didn't last long.
Keep up the good work. Extraction is available if you need it.
Ooh, 1.2 million. I'll take it. Alright, well, that is the video. I hope you give the video I hope you like the video. I hope you give the build a shot. I've been having a lot of fun with it for a little while. Just a generalistic, just give her whatever you have, and she just kind of makes it work, and I've really enjoyed it. Alright, again, hope you liked the video. Hope you stick around for more, because I've got more vids on the way. Take care, later.